Welcome everybody to a brand new video. There are a good amount of things that I want to talk about in today's video because yesterday, when I'm recording this, we actually got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare reveal trailer, and then there were a bunch of YouTubers that also posted content of gameplay, raw multiplayer footage, and oh my god, some of the stuff I saw in there got me very, very excited. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that I haven't watched a shit ton of content, so if there are things that I have missed, please leave them in the comments below because I want to know as much as possible about this game. However, I haven't had the time to just sit there and watch raw gameplay for hours on end. I've mainly just been watching YouTubers like Prestigious Key and Pamaj, you know, true Call of Duty YouTubers. I want to discuss the things that I saw and what I'm really excited about because honestly, I really do believe we have something special on our hands this year. What I saw really did get me excited. First of all, I want to touch on the maps because that is something that I was really focused on. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 had, in my opinion, some of the worst maps in Call of Duty history. By itself, each map wasn't horrible, it wasn't unplayable, but what made the game unplayable to me was that every single map was exactly the same. It just followed this incredibly basic 5-year-old design. It's like an infant created these maps. They were all just 3-lane, boring, generic maps that made every single match feel the same. But I'm very happy to say that in this next Call of Duty, it looks like we have large maps with a lot of variety in terms of playstyle. These maps looked really big, and that might sound bad at first, but I'm gonna touch on why this isn't a bad thing later. With high ground, low ground, a lot of different terrain you can traverse. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I looked at these maps and I was like, wow, these maps look like they have a lot of replay value. And I'm really hoping that a lot of the maps follow this same design. Not that they should be exactly the same, but I just mean make them interesting. I want every single game to feel like a unique experience, something that I can approach in a different way every single time. I don't want it to simply be a matter of, okay, do I go right, middle, or left? Because when that happens, when every single match is like that, the game gets repetitive. If there is a variety in the amount of playstyles that you can have, then the game has an endless amount of replay value. The Actman touches on this in his why is a certain Call of Duty awesome or bad or mediocre. He talks about how the game is a sandbox. You take a game like Modern Warfare 2 that has fantastic maps. Look at this map. It has so much variety. You can go into the bunker, or you can go to the side and flank enemies, or you can go around the actual outside skirts of the map that has a lot of different terrain. It adds a lot of variety to the game and really makes you think about how you're going to approach a certain scenario depending on what situation calls for it. And so as a result, you never get bored. You never think to yourself, oh my god, I'm just going down this same route over and over and over again. If you get bored going down bunker every single time, you can go around the outside of the map, or you can go down the middle right side of the map. There's so much variety. This map is nice and open, and it gives a lot of different styles of play that you can choose from. And so that's what I was really focused on in the gameplay that I watched. What did the maps look like? Because I think it's one of the most important features of a Call of Duty game, and if that suffers, then the game is going to really suck. Now, to add on to the fact that the maps are so big, normally in Call of Duty, we don't like big maps because there simply aren't enough players on the map. Usually, the standard game modes have 6v6, or in the case of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it's 5v5. And unfortunately, over the last few years, a game mode like Ground War hasn't been getting a lot of love. Ground War is a game mode where you would typically have 9 versus 9 players, which it's one of the most popular game modes in Call of Duty history because we like more fast-paced action. We like more chaos in our Call of Duty games because it just makes things more interesting. Even if we have more bad moments, which results in more deaths, obviously with more chaos comes more of a random element, which means that there is a higher chance of you dying. The good moments are amplified way more than the bad moments because you have a lot of more lineups, you have a lot more multi-kills that happen. In general, the good moments outweigh the bad moments because of how chaotic the game can be at times. It's a game mode that has been getting no attention whatsoever in the recent years of Call of Duty. It's like they just added a few months down the road after the game is actually released, which makes the game feel very boring. However, what I saw in the reveal trailer and in the gameplay that I watched completely blew me away because not only are we going to be getting huge maps that add a lot of variety in terms of playstyle, but we are going to be getting 20 versus 20 game modes. Holy fucking shit! This is huge. This is something that I never, ever expected to see in Call of Duty. So yes, the maps are big, but there are 20 people on each team going against each other. What the fuck, Infinity Ward? What are you getting us this year? What type of treat is this? This is fucking incredible. This is some of the greatest news I've ever heard in Call of Duty. I absolutely cannot wait to jump into these game modes. Like, I'm genuinely hyped. I'm so fucking excited to hop into these games with 20 players on each team. And you already know I'm gonna be sniping on this game. I mean, it's fucking obvious. I mean, that's what I do. I like sniping. I'm just a huge sniper. I mean, in Apex Legends, my favorite weapon is the Kraber because I just love picking off people at long range and getting really nice single shot kills. By the way, I'm not going to talk about this too long, but the sniping looks really nice in the game. I really do think that all of these changes are a result of the new engine. I truly feel that the Call of Duties that we've been getting recently, the reason we haven't been seeing Ground War and all these other game modes that have just been neglected for so long is because the engine just simply couldn't handle it anymore. I think the engine was very, very old school, outdated, and now that they have a new engine, it's like we're getting all of these things that we want so badly. I feel like the reason we had 5v5 game modes in Black Ops 4 is because the game just simply couldn't handle more players. They had to make some serious sacrifices in Black Ops 4 to make the game even work. And I think they realized this a long time ago, ever since, say, Call of Duty Ghosts or Advanced Warfare. I think they've been working on this engine for a long time, which they confirmed. They've been working on this for 5 years because they noticed that Call of Duty has really been struggling with this engine, and so they needed to make something new. They had to update their model, or else it just wasn't going to work. So I'm happy that in some sense they were focused on the long term. They realized that this was an issue a long time ago, and they've been working on it ever since. And I really hope that Call of Duty is going to thrive because of this. And I'm not saying that this is going to revive Call of Duty because I don't want to go that far. Every single year I say that, and unfortunately I get disappointed, but I don't know. I just have a good feeling about this. Something is telling me that we're really going to get something special this year and a lot of years down the road. I have faith in Infinity Ward, which is saying a lot because Infinity Ward really have been delivering just lackluster products over the last few Call of Duties they've made. But for some reason, I believe in them this year. I truly believe they can pull it off. We also got a reveal of all the kill streaks in the game, and they look great. They look like throwback streaks from older Call of Duties mixed in with some new ones that they've brought in, which, oh my god, I mean, it just sounds so good. The way I describe the way I see this next Call of Duty is, I feel like they actually put passion. I feel like they made a game that they actually cared about, that wasn't just a cash grab. And, of course, I do believe supply drops are going to be in the game. I don't see that going away anytime soon. I just genuinely hope it's not a terrible system that is going to kill the game, because what they have right here is really amazing. And if they ruin it with supply drops and loot boxes and adding weapons into the loot boxes that can only be obtained by paying, I'm gonna be so disappointed, and it really will make me just lose all faith in this franchise. Another thing I want to mention, because I briefly saw it in some of the gameplay, and I hope that this is actually what I think it is, I saw tactical insertions, and oh my god, yes, finally! Tactical insertions are back in Call of Duty, and I think it's actually a good idea because the maps are so big. Tactical insertions actually have a place in the game now. For snipers, this is a huge win. I just got killed by a care package, holy fuck. For snipers, this is a huge fucking win. I am so happy that tactical insertions are making their way back into Call of Duty, because I felt like this has been a thing that has been missing for a long time. It seems like they're bringing back a lot of things that people wanted, and I'm not saying that they should just go back and rehash old Call of Duties. Obviously, keep the things that people like and then innovate in new and interesting ways to make it feel fresh. I don't agree with any of the extreme sides. A lot of people are saying, go back to the old Call of Duty, just remake the old Call of Duties, and the other side are saying, just innovate, make a completely new game. I don't want it to be like old Call of Duty. I want them to move forward. I don't think that either of those sides alone is necessarily a good thing. I think they should have a mixture of the two elements. I think you should have old school Call of Duty in there, and then I think you should also innovate in new and interesting ways. This way you can appeal to both sides. I don't think that anybody is saying that the old features of Call of Duty are a bad thing, but I don't think anybody believes that it should just be strictly old Call of Duty. There should be new things in there that spice things up a little bit. What else can I say about the game? Graphically, the game looks fantastic, and gameplay-wise, it looks incredibly fun. It looks different. It doesn't look like it's straying away from Call of Duty too much. You could tell that the game is still fast-paced, which is very nice, but it just looks different. It looks like a breath of fresh air, which is something that we've been yearning for from Call of Duty. As I said earlier, I don't know why, but I just have a good feeling about this. I feel like this is going to be a solid title. It doesn't have to be the greatest Call of Duty of all time, but it just has to be good. It has to be something that we can play for hours on end every single day for the next 12 months, at least until the next title. And I'm really hoping that the next titles use this engine as well. I really doubt that they won't, because why would you develop this engine for 5 years and then only use it for one title? I guess the only worry I have with this upcoming title is the microtransactions. How are they going to do it this year? I'm very happy with the DLC model. I'm so happy that there is going to be free DLC maps for everybody, that there's not going to be paid DLC. That is a great step in the right direction, and it just shows that we are trying to move forward. Thankfully, because the community have spoken, we have actually seen change, and this is why, if you have an issue with Call of Duty titles doing anti-consumer practices, you should speak your voice. You should let them know that we are not okay with this, because ultimately we will get changes like this. Also, the fact that cross-platform support is going to be in the game is just incredible. That is one of the best features that I'm looking forward to, because I'm going to be playing it on PC this year, so obviously I want to be able to play with my friends even on a different console. I simply just can't see myself going back to console because I'm just so used to PC gaming at this point, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a standard feature from now on in Call of Duty. I don't see myself playing COD on PC only against other PC players. Not because I don't want to be on an even playing field, but because Call of Duty generally doesn't have the biggest fan base on PC. However, I'm hoping that changes, because if I want to play alone, I'm hoping that I can actually get into lobbies with people. But anyway, I've given you guys my thoughts on a few of the features that we've been seeing from this next Call of Duty. What do you guys think of the gameplay that we saw in the reveal trailer? Personally, I'm very excited. This looks really good, and I truly do believe that we're going to get something really great this year. I'm hoping you guys feel the same. Are you going to be picking up this title? Because I know for a fact I will be. Unless some really terrible news comes out all of a sudden, and if that's the case, well then I'm going to be skeptical. I still am skeptical. No matter what, I'm going to be worried that this game is going to be ruined by microtransactions, but so far, it just seems promising. With all that being said, again, leave it in the comments below. What do you guys think? Are you excited for this next title? And yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you want to stay up to date with my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.